Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another knife review for you today. We have this lovely little guy, the Kizer Yorkie. I'm very excited to get my hands on this. It's a pretty new release by Kizer. Very small knife, but again, I was super excited to get my hands on it. And if you're excited to get your hands on one, you can go to whitemountainKnives.com right now. As the time I'm recording this, they are in stock. So you can go grab one there and use my code SDWMK at checkout and get 10% off. What would you be getting 10% off of? The retail on these, or the street price on these, is $159. For that price, you are getting S35 VN steel, full titanium frame lock, in this lovely little design by Ray Laconico, one of my favorite knife designers. He's really good at making these simple, wonderful knives, and he is really spreading out a lot. He has, not only does he do a lot of stuff with Kizer, the Gemini, some other ones, he also does work with his own site now. He's partners with Monterey Bay Knives. He's got a few out from there. The EZC. There we go. I knew I'd get it. The EZC, the Min Pin. And then also he's been doing some stuff with Mastrop, most notably the Keen. I'm going to bring that out here in a minute, even though it's a much larger knife, because this is available in two different configurations. It's available in this blue anodization, which is a really nice blue. It's not like a bright, intense blue. It's like kind of a blue genie sort of blue. I really do like that. But it also comes in a more plain with a hole in this in the show side scale, which is something he does on a lot. That's also an option on the Keen, for example. He does it on a lot of his knives, but the Keen's what I have, so it's what I bring out here. This is the Mastrop Keen, made by Wee Knives, but you can see it has basically that same kind of hole, that sort of chamfered hole, right smack in the middle. It looks pretty cool. But the blue one, it's a loaner. That's the one that I got. Not sure which one I would buy. Pretty good chance I am going to buy one of these someday, but I'm not sure which one. I just like his designs. They're very just plain, simple. They're always comfortable. They always work pretty well. I wasn't a big fan of the Min Pin, but other than that, everything he's made, I've really, really liked. And the flaws I have with the Min Pin are being fixed. But I'm going off on a tangent about the Min Pin, and that's not what this review's about. But I do like this little one. Let's do some, I keep saying little, so let's do some stats and size comparisons before we get too much farther here. We have a length of about 6 1/4, less than that, about 6 1/8 inches, 6.12 or so. You have a blade length of 2.5 inches, blade thickness fairly thin, 0.12 inch, handle thickness also fairly thin, 0.44, and a weight, according to my scales, of 2.92 ounces, so fairly light. It's just a nice little pockety EDC size. We're going to do two of the usuals, and I'm going to bring out some other knives for size comparisons because, as I said, and as you heard by the stats, this is not a big knife, so we're going to sandwich it between, even though it's going to be smaller than both. This is your Spyderco Para 3. Try and line the pivots up there. And your Spyderco PM2. You can see it's a lot smaller than either of those. Some more accurate comparisons and more useful comparisons we will do. Here are two knives that are in roughly this same size area, and you will be more used to saying your CRKT Pilar. You see just a little bit longer than that. And here's one I haven't brought out in a long, long time, the Kershaw Shuffle. Let's see a little scoochy scooch there. Yeah, so it's a little longer than both of those, but still a very small knife. Now, what is one of my favorite things about this knife is definitely that first category we always talk about, because the most important is the blade. I really do like the blade on this. Full flat grind, not very thick stock, pretty thin behind the edge. You're looking at about 17 thousandths behind the edge. It's a great little slicer, razor sharp out of the box. It's just a very, very useful blade, especially for the size, and it's a 2.5 inch blade length, and it's using every bit of that for cutting edge. You can see the way they do the sharpening control. You're not really losing hardly anything there. Just a very, very good slicing EDC blade. Even the tip on it is, it's not thick by any means, but it's pretty robust for a blade this size. Well done. The only weird thing I have about the blade, and I don't know if this is an optical illusion, but I see it when I look at pictures of it online too. It does have almost kind of a hawkbilly thing towards the tip there. Shows up in the online pictures more than it does here. But I have noticed that. I don't notice it when I'm using it. I didn't sharpen this because it's not mine, so I can't say if you notice it while you're sharpening. But it does have just at the tip a little recurvy hawkbilly thing going on. At least it looks like that to me, and it looks like that in the pictures. But again, it might be an optical illusion. I don't know. But it's a great working blade just for everyday use. It's fantastic. Ergonomics. Ray Laconico simple knives are usually comfortable, and this is no exception. I do really love the way it fits in my hand. I will say that usually on knives this size, I do prefer to have something, like on the Pilar with a forward choil, just so that my whole hand fits on it. You do lose some blade length, and that's valuable blade length in a knife this size, so I get why they didn't do that. This has a bit longer handle, and no, it is not a 4-finger knife by any stretch of the imagination, but it's like 3 1/4, and it does fit my. It hits the pommel hits the palm of my hand pretty well. I feel fairly secure carrying it. Is the long way of getting around there. Not a grippy finish. That's why maybe if I bought one, I might get the one with the hole. I think your middle finger is meant to sit in there and give you a bit more grip. But I never felt like it was going to come flying out of my hand, and this isn't really a heavy duty use knife. I mean, it's a little 2.5 incher. Yeah, but it's very comfortable. Very, very comfortable. This cool, very nice pocket clip, by the way, does not cause a hot spot or anything, and you can see there's nothing on here. No sharp edges. Everything's nicely chamfered. Nothing that you're going to be uncomfortable with. Now, let's talk about the carry. Bring out ye old Wranglers. See with this this kind of blue genie blue anodization, it totally just disappears in a pair of jeans. I don't know what color your pants are, but if you're wearing jeans, yeah, it vaporizes when you put it in there. It's not deep carry; it's a full milled clip. Most time those are not deep carry, but I think it looks pretty good in the pocket. Super easy to get your hand by. It's fairly slim. You can feel the flipper tab a little bit for sure, but it's up really high, so I wouldn't worry about it beating on stuff in your pockets, because I think everything in your pocket's going to be sitting well below this, unless you're carrying something huge. But that's to be noted, that you can feel that flipper tab, because it's a bit pointy. Speaking of that flipper tab, that brings us to deployment. That's really the only other problem I have with this knife. D10 is perfect, absolutely perfect, no complaints there. For a blade this small, it's almost never completely drop shut. Again, this isn't mine. I haven't taken it apart and greased it or oiled it up. I think if I did that, it would be really damn close to drop shut. As it is now, it's just kind of close to drop shut. But with a blade this small and this light, it's just physics. It just doesn't have enough weight to get past to go down. The flipper tab is fine, but as far as size and stuff goes, but it could use some jimping. I will say that's. I don't mind the no jimping on the handle or anything, because it's not meant for that. But for deployment, it is really easy to my finger to slip off. And I've had that problem with other Laconico designs also. But this one is this one isn't egregious, I would say, but it is. I have to be conscious to make sure that my finger's not slipping off. Definitely a light switch only, kind of deployment. And I think just a little bit of jimping there would make it better. If you've got any kind of grease or moisture on your fingers, it's going to be a bit more difficult to get open. So I'd like to see some jimping on that flipper tab. But other than that, it's very snappy for a little knife like this. Makes a great sound. It's excellent. It's just, you just have to be conscious of the fact that there's no jimping on that fairly uniquely shaped flipper tab. So what is my overall conclusion? Didn't mean to clap in your ears there. I like it a lot. If you're into small knives, this is the time. I mean, there's a lot of really cool small knives coming out. And, with the best tech engine I've had on here, that S35 VM Pilar I just showed you guys. Another one I like a lot that I didn't show in the video yet, your Three Rivers Atlas. You've just got a lot of knives in this kind of category, but, best tech Goblin, there's one I forgot about. But this one is, it's definitely worth it in the category. I think that the price is fine. I love Ray Laconico's designs. I love the look of them. I love the way they work. I mean, the Keen is one of my favorite knives I've owned since I started this channel. And I just like a lot about Ray Laconico stuff. This is excellent quality. You know, it comes with the cool sarcophagus box and the new little pouch and all that. You feel like you're buying something premium. And I really, really like it. My only flaws are that flipper tab, and I'm not quite sure what's going on with that tip there. If it's on purpose, then it's on purpose. If it isn't, I don't really get it. Nobody mentions it. They just call it a drop point. But, and again, it could be optical illusion and just be me. But pretty cool knife. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've been Brian. Have a good one.